What's up, YouTube? It's been a week. I'm surprised I'm actually keeping up with like recording weekly. Even if the day changes, I'm still keeping up with just recording. I know my last video didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go, cause like before I even started recording the video, I was in a good, well, I thought I was in a good state of mind, but it's like the more I started talking and the more things I was saying, it's like it kind of changed my whole demeanor, because I was really thinking about a lot of things. It's like I've been thinking about that video since I uploaded it. I haven't like rewatched it, so I don't remember everything in detail that I said, but I just remember the feeling that I had after it and the feeling that I must have given off for whoever ended up watching it. Because like my mom told me that my auntie said something about it. She was concerned, and like literally the next day, somebody I don't even talk to, I'm just friends with on Facebook, he was like, "You snapped," and I was like, it was funny because the timing of it was interesting, because at the time I was already kind of like in a weird place, because I was like so devoid of emotion. And I was literally just thinking about that when he had messaged me and said, "You snapped." And I was sitting there thinking, like, is that in a bad way snapped? And do I really care? I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of enjoying that feeling that I was going through. I don't want to say enjoying it so much, but I definitely liked that feeling, because it's like that's where I was supposed to be. But it's like I've been struggling with that feeling, because it was like I felt like I shouldn't be so ready to discard people out of my life. Like the way I was feeling, I wasn't concerned with anybody but myself. And like I really just wanted to be left alone. And it's like, that doesn't sound bad, and it's really not bad. That's a problem that I have, is making myself look at things as bigger or worse than they are, especially when it comes to myself, because I still have my own self-doubts when it comes to how I handle situations, because I know that I haven't always handled situations as best as I could have. I've let like emotions get in the way, and sometimes the problem isn't, it's raining outside, it look like, the problem isn't the emotions per se. It's about like understanding why you even feel, at least I think it's raining, why you even feel a certain type of way. Sorry, I'm kind of just all over the place for a little bit. That's how it is on my off days. But it's like I spent so much time being so concerned about other people and my relationships with people that it's hard, well, it was hard for me to even feel like I could do nothing but care for people. Like I'm not trying to be like an emotionless a-hole, and I feel like sometimes that could be what I would come across as, because there are people in my life that I'm concerned about. It's just the overall attitude that I've been giving off in my head feels like I'm just like being inconsiderate of everybody. And it's like I'm not really. Like I know who I can be cool with, and I know who I can't be cool with. My biggest problem is the fact that I feel more responsible for people than I should. I kind of realized this with my mom yesterday, because you guys know the situation I've been talking about for the past who knows how long. And at this point, it's just like I'm tired of talking about it, and I think I'm finally closing the chapter on it, because these past couple days have just been the worst ever for that situation. And I was telling my mom about it, because it's like I have so many reasons why I feel a certain type of way about somebody. Like, if I think about a certain person and the relationship they have, I can pinpoint different reasons why I even feel that way about them, good or bad. And I haven't been good at not feeling, I haven't been good at feeling bad. Not feeling bad, but feeling like just not liking somebody. Or the letting a relationship just like die. Because with this particular girl, I always felt like I haven't handled the situation, whatever it was, because the more I look at it, we weren't ever really, like, there was a point where we were friends, and then at some point we just stopped being friends, and we should have let it go. And this is literally one of those situations where they say it keeps getting worse until you let it go, and it's been getting worse and worse, and I'm just letting it go because I'm tired. But it's like, I haven't been the best person to her at times. But the biggest thing is, it's like I've been so good to her. Like, I can name a lot of things that I've done for her where I've been good. And the only reason that I haven't been as good to her at times is because it's like when I look at all the things that I have done for her, I don't see a lot of that energy being returned. So when I get frustrated, it's because I feel I'm tired of being disrespected when I've been nothing but good to people. And I'm tired of feeling bad about not being good to people because of little things like this disrespect. Because I have my days where I'm just like not in it, and I don't want to be around people, and she'd be one of the people that just didn't make it better. And it's like, I give everybody else their space, and I give them their time to figure their stuff out. And like, I've reached out to her when she hasn't been feeling good, but she's not that considerate of my feelings. And it's like, I would always feel bad because all these things would build up because I never really been able to express it to her. And every time I would even get a chance, it doesn't go anywhere. And it's like, I've been trying so hard to be understood, and it's like, I don't need to be understood. I understand why I feel this way because it's so many different things. And it's just like, no, she hasn't been in a good place. And I felt sort of responsible for trying to even get her back to a good place. I sent her this text. And to be honest with you, there's been plenty of times where I thought maybe I should send her a text and tell her, good things, and spread some positive feelings. But there's always been something holding me back. Like, no, you don't need to do that. Honestly, you're wasting your time. Stop it. But I would listen, but I always felt like, well, maybe that's just me being negative about the situation, which I have every right to be. It's not a situation that I should even have been as involved in as I have been. So it's natural for something to be telling me, look, you don't even need to be putting in this much effort. Like, what have you really been getting out of it? And other people that know about the situation that we've been in feel the same way. So it's like, I know that I'm justified, but it's hard for me in my own head to really comprehend and accept the fact that I have a right to act the way I've been acting. But I sent her a text, and it's like, I wasn't really into it. I kind of just sent it because I felt like I was a little obligated to, because it's like I said, I haven't been the best at dealing with her, but at the same time, she hasn't been the best at dealing with me. So I should have just left it alone like I originally thought, but I was like, no, this might be the one time I need to actually say something. It wasn't. She didn't really acknowledge it until yesterday, and then when she did, we kind of got into it about it. And it's like all of the people, like, we work together, so the people that normally work with her, we've all been some level of concern because of how she's been acting. She doesn't normally act like that. And it's like, I stopped trying after I sent that text. I was like, this will be the last thing I ever do. And just based on the response that I got from it, it's like, this will really be the last thing I ever do. I'm just work with her for the last couple of days, and that'll be it. Because I'm done. Like, I don't see this going anywhere after she leaves. I don't see it going anywhere before she leaves. So it's like, there's really no point in me even putting in the time and effort. But my other coworkers, she felt like there was need for her to talk about it. And it's just like, I've come to the understanding that there's no point. Like, there's never gonna be an understanding. You can't make somebody understand if they don't want to understand. And that's kind of the situation. So she was concerned, but I feel like she got upset because it's like, we're concerned about you because you don't normally act like this, not because you're not allowed to. It's just we want trying to help figure out why. And it's like, I don't care anymore. But I still felt responsible somehow. And I was talking to my mom about this, and she was like, what is it about this girl that even has you this stuck? Like, why? And I was like, it's not even so much about her anymore. It's about, I feel like I could have handled it so much better. And she was like, why? And it's like, when you think about it, there's literally nothing I could have done different. The situation ended up the way it was because that's the way it was going to go from the beginning, if it ever got to this point. And it's gotten to this point. And I don't even remember how I came to this conclusion, but like, it just kind of hit me that I feel responsible for a lot of people in my life, because I feel responsible for making people feel good even when I don't. I go out of my way to make sure that, I'm that ear somebody can talk to. I'm that shoulder they can lean on. I'm that person that they know they can go to when they need something, and I got them, because I know what it's like not being prioritized by a lot of people. Granted, those people that I wanted to be prioritized by really shouldn't have wanted to be. I realize that a lot. That's why I kind of let go of like a lot of my childhood worries, because it's like, a lot of things are gonna go south. I'm young. I'm still learning and growing and really trying to figure out how to deal with people. And some people, it's like, no matter what, the situation wasn't gonna change. It was what it was for what it was at the time, and that's that. But the one thing I didn't let go of was trying to make other people feel special. I'm always the person that gravitates towards the people that are neglected in some form in their life. Like, me and my brother, we're kind of in similar positions, but like, me and him didn't come together because of, like, I don't even know like how we ended up. Like, I know the whole process of being brothers, but like, I don't know. The vibe was good with us, so that's how we ended up getting along so well. But it seems like it's mostly when it comes to women. I've always been more nurturing towards them because I don't know, I like women, so it's a lot easier for me to be around them. I mean, I'm kind of the same when it comes to dudes. Like they, I literally just sit around and mind my business, and people find some type of reason to come talk to me about their problems, and I find that interesting. Like with women, I kind of reach out because I know like they're younger than me. They're going through like their first experiences with certain things, so it's like it's easy to understand when something's wrong, and like each different one has something that they're dealing with that they kind of have to learn to most likely let go. In my opinion, I feel like it's something they need to let go. And me growing up always usually being the big brother in the sense, because I'm older than a lot of my friends that I'm around, or I'm older than a lot of the people I work around. Not all of them are really friends, I've come to realize. But I'm older than the people that I usually end up giving advice to. So, and me being the old spirit, I'm usually wiser and I've seen a lot of different things. So I understand a bit more a situation. Plus, I just have a more level head when it comes to other people's situations than I do for my own at before. Like now, kind of, I'm just chilling right now. But I'm saying all this to say that I bear a lot of responsibility for people and their emotional state, their mental being, and the things that they deal with in life, because I just want them to be happy. Like, I'm one of those people that, like, I haven't always been the happiest child in my life. Not necessarily because anything was going wrong in my childhood, but because I don't know, I've always been putting people first. So it's just a natural instinct for me. But I feel good when I can help make other people feel good. And I like giving advice. Don't get me wrong. I like being able to talk to people about their different experiences and things, and like really, I like really getting to know people, uh, especially people I do feel like I can consider friends. But when I think about it, I don't even think it's raining. I think it just looks like something is moving outside. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just seeing stuff probably. But when I look back on a lot of our friendships, certain people, because I'm not going to say everybody, but certain people that I've prioritized don't do the same for me. This girl being in this situation. Like I said, it wasn't all bad. There was a time when things were actually good, but lately things have not been the slightest good. And I've been trying and trying and trying and trying to make it better, because I thought that's what I was supposed to do instead of just leaving it alone. Like my mom was saying, you have no moral obligation to this girl. Like y'all weren't even dating or anything. It's just like I just naturally feel responsible for other people's well-being. I've always been, at the very least, the big brother, or I don't want to say the lover because it sounds like I've been like in relationships and stuff, but I have a big heart. That's not, I'm not trying to brag and I'm not trying to like make myself seem bigger than I am, but I care a lot about people. So it was always hard for me to understand that some people you just have to let go. Like you don't have to hate anybody. You don't have to think negatively of them. You just have to let the situation go. And with this one, I always wanted to mend it because there was this video that she had me watch. Because there was a period where she was going through her I love God phase, and she was like serious about it. She showed me this video where this guy was talking about he had an experience in purgatory. It was like a dream he had, and he was saying, people were, you see, I'm not allowed to curse in the house. And y'all know where the devil is, so I'm not gonna say it. I don't think purgatory is the right word for the afterlife as a whole. Purgatory would probably be like another word for that. That's what I'm gonna call it. Anyway, he was saying that he was in line waiting to be judged, and he would hear people get sent to purgatory, if I'm using that correctly. In my case right now, I'm using it for not heaven. He was like, he was going through there, and he said that he finally stood in front of God, and God was talking to him, and he asked him a question about this girl that he knew, and he was like, "Oh God, I forgave her a long time ago. I'm not worried about that anymore." And he was like, and he said, God was like, "Really? Then why do you have?" It was like this. He was a soul, and he had like these seeds in his chest. And he was like, "Then why do you have this seed? You never truly forgave her for this situation." And I know, because every time she calls you, or she talks to you, or she's mentioned you, you think these thoughts about her. And I was always worried that that was going to be, like, if I let things end badly, that's how it was going to be for me. I didn't want to bear that seed for her. If you take that out of context, that doesn't sound right. But I didn't want to have any type of negative emotions toward that relationship. But at the same time, it's like, the more you hold on to something, the more it's going to build up. Like, it's good now. Well, it's really not. But like, you're going to think it's good now. But the longer you hold on to it, the more negative it's going to become in the end. Unless you just let it go. You have to have the strength to let it go. Move on from the situation. Otherwise, it has no choice but to get negative. Because it's not going to get better. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. In any form of capacity. And that was something that I've been kind of learning. And it's not just for her. It's like, I've been thinking about it I've been thinking about this for a while anyway. Not just with her, but in regards to other people. My problem is, my trust is kind of messed up. So like, I can take any situation, not any, but like any negative experience, and kind of hold it over in my head, of hold it over people in my head, because I'm thinking, well, if they did this or didn't do this, and it's not really much I can like ask of them. And like, there was Thursday, at least 3 people called out, and one person couldn't stay later. And when she was talking about it to my friend, it kind of gave off the vibe that she didn't want to. And me having already been in that negative state, and I was like, well, dang, I look after people a lot, and the one time I really need something, they're just not there. And it's like, I told her, I didn't tell her the nitty gritty negatives about it, because when I told her just how I felt initially, she seemed apologetic, and she was like, I didn't want you to think of it like that. And it's like, I know I can rely on her, but it's like, I know that nobody has any reason to prioritize me just because I prioritize them. Everybody has their own obligations in life. It just so happens that I've never really had any when it comes to myself. And it's like, I know I can rely on her, even if it's not at the job. Like, we're kind of each other's, I don't want to say emotional security, but that's kind of what it is. Like, I check up on her, she checks up on me, and that's kind of the end of that. It's like, I hate feeling like that about people. Like, I hate feeling like I can't trust or rely on anybody, because that's not the case. Sure, there's very few people that I can't rely on or trust in the same capacity that they can rely on and trust me, but that's life. And like the biggest thing I've been learning is to stop being morally obligated to look after everybody before I look after myself. And that was something I was just thinking about earlier, is that there's only certain things that I still have to let go of. Like, I'm at the point where I'm letting go of my obligations to other people. Like, today, I could be going into work because one of my coworkers, she still doesn't feel good, and my manager only scheduled 2 people for the night, so I don't know why he did that. And it's like, it's just gonna be him, and he's not our worst worker, but he still has ways to go, and they don't have a cashier. So it's like, I can imagine there's gonna be some type of struggle, but at the same time, I've already covered a shift that he couldn't come in, and I'm always covering somebody's shift. So it's not my place to cover everybody's shift. Not everybody will look out for me like that. And it's like, I don't feel bad about that either. That was always the thing. I used to feel so bad about even ever thinking these type of thoughts. But it's like, that's the reality of the situation. Because there's so many different factors for why it even ended up the way it did for today. And it's like, not one of them is my fault. I have no more obligation to come to work because we're short staffed. I've dealt with being short staffed. Not to that extent, but I've dealt with it. I've dealt with a lot of things I shouldn't have to deal with, considering that I'm still not even technically a manager. And I don't get paid as such either. So it's like, my one day off, I want to be off. And I'm not gonna come in. I still think about situations, but I don't feel like any pressing, like, oh my God, other people are suffering, you have to go. I don't feel that anymore. Because it's not about anybody else. It's about me. And that, I don't care if that sounds selfish. I want to be selfish. I spent so much time dulling myself out, wearing myself out for other people. And I'm not blaming those other people, because honestly, that was another thing. My mom was like, because when I was talking about the thing with the seeds, I was like, I didn't want to not like forgive her or anything. And my mom was like, what do you even have to forgive her for? She's just being herself. And I was like, I can never really pinpoint what it is I would even ever forgive. So I don't know. It's like, I can't blame anybody else for me even feeling any type of way that I felt. I mean, sure, they did what they did and they acted how they were going to act. But regardless of the fact, that's just who they are. My job for myself is to hold myself responsible enough to know that this isn't good for my spirit. I'm dulling myself by being around these certain type of energies. It's not positive for me, so I need to separate myself from it. It's my responsibility to pick myself up after all the crap that I sometimes go through. It's like my job to keep myself moving forward, and I need to stop holding myself back from plenty of different things I could be doing to better my own life. And I think reaching this mindset that I'm in now was the final step that I needed to take before I really start like focusing on myself to the max that I can. And I don't feel like it's gonna be major changes right now, because it's like I'm just kind of living at the moment in this new feeling that I have. But it's a start, and that's good because I really needed to let that go. Haven't been in the best place because I've been holding on to these feelings. And my biggest mistake was not putting myself first. I've given time, money, energy to situations and people that I never should have even let myself be put in a position where I felt like that was okay. To prioritize everything but myself. But the good thing about these type of situations is the fact that once you go through them, you'll come out a better person. Back then, about a year ago when all of this started, I was not in the right state to even have dealt with it the way that I should. So you have to go through things to be able to get through things later on in life, if that makes sense. Like, if I wouldn't have gone through these situations to the point that I've gotten here, then I would be worse off, and I'd probably have to go through it further on down the road and feel even worse about it because now it's like I'm too old to be dealing with this. All right, like, this was meant for me to be. I just have to accept that, and there's other things that are meant for me that I have to accept and start working towards. But like I said, this is a start. I just feel like, well, I don't feel like, because I know things are going to change real soon. At work, mostly. That's like the most direct thing that I know is going to change, because there's going to be plenty of people leaving. So far, only one person coming in the door and at least 5 going out right behind her. And I'm just trying to figure out if I'm going to even feel like dealing with it in the future. Like I said, that's the most direct change. There's something else probably that's going to come and change. I think it'd be positive. All I can do is see. I'm thinking, because with the way I've been feeling, I've really just been reading manga and watching Netflix. I finally got Netflix. I've been watching on my block. I think I'm going to probably be on social media less. Like, I get bored and I just scroll and scroll and scroll because I'm trying to look at all the different things that I got. I was hoping this video wasn't going to be too long so I didn't have to separate it in 2 parts. And it just separated into a second part. Great. Now I gotta wait for it to edit together. But anyway, I've been, I guess, kind of distracting myself. But, I mean, I'm in a good place right now. I know I said that last time, but like, I'm better than I was. It's just getting used to this new feeling. But I'm just want to enjoy life more. So I'm not really, like, I'm not going to work. Honestly, don't feel a point. I don't care to go to work. Especially since I work tomorrow. It's like everybody else has got time off. But, and they got time off in like worse situations at that. So it's like, why do I even need to go out of my way to bust my butt? Like, I've done that too much. So I'm taking a step back. And like I said, I'm prioritizing myself above anything else because that's what I should have been doing for so long. And that's why I even started this I don't know, is this considered vlogging? Like, do you have to go outside and actually do things to vlog? Like, I don't know. You can tell I'm a basic YouTuber. But that's why I've been kind of recording these videos at least one a week to monitor my progress. And I think I've been making decent progress. Like, I know some people might not believe it because it's easy to say things, but I wouldn't waste my time recording a close to 40-minute video of lies. Like, I know in my own head that I'm improving, and I feel like I'm giving off that because I have no reason to lie. Like, all I can be is honest with myself. If I'm not honest with myself, who can I be honest with? That's another thing. I've really been like looking at different things where I fall short at when it comes to myself. And I've been trying to change. But like I said, this is a start, and I'm in a better position mentally than I was in even the video I did last week and even videos before that. I know my 17-year-old self, because that's when I really started this journey to where I am now. I know if he saw me now, he'd probably be surprised. Because who would expect us to be this way now and actually be content with ourselves? At least more content than we've been in the past. So it's good. It's nice to just think back and see how far I've come, which is why I even started YouTube. I wanted to show and document, like, I guess, me growing up, and I'll continue to do so. Even if I don't like get anything out of YouTube, it'll be something for myself. Maybe one day when I have a family, you can just watch YouTube and see how how young I was back in the day. Young and naive. But that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. And I know a lot of people don't really watch these videos, but for those who do, other than myself, thank you. And even if you don't, shoot. Like I said, at the end of the day, this is for me. If anybody else can benefit from seeing me record and be like this, that's a plus in my book. If not, it's my own personal journal that I can look back on one day and be content. I've come so far. But that's it. I'm out.